Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, the numbers are in for the great city of Edmonton for June 2022. Now, there's a few things I have for you today. Obviously, interest rates have been affecting the market. So the reason I want to do this market update, I want to show you what's happening, but I want to compare it to the last 5 years just so we have great perspective. Now, some of these slides I think could be valuable to use when you're meeting with buyers and you're meeting with sellers. So I'm going to talk about sales numbers, and I'm also going to talk about your average price. So let's have a look. So if we go back and we look at this year, January, right through to the end of June, what I have is I have sales, I have active listings, I have months of inventory, which is nothing more than taking active listings and dividing sales into that. I get average price, and we get days in the market. So we have a look. You can see January, we did 1,337 sales. Obviously, normally, price went up a little bit in February, 2,200. Then March went up again, 3,300 almost. April, slightly down, 29. May, a little bit down from that at 28. In June, down 9% to 2,500. Now, or 2,600. Now, the reason this is happening is because this is where rates started to have an impact right here. And we started to see sales slide a little bit. Well, let's look at this number, your months of inventory. So 3.5 months of inventory is right around the balanced market. They say 4 months of inventory is when it becomes balanced, stays balanced till 6. Over 6 becomes a buyer's market. Below 4 is sort of a seller's market. This is very close to balance. We start in January with 3.5, went down to 2.1, 1.6. That's a very, very strong market right there. Obviously, you can see price went up. Then 2.2, okay, 2.6, 3.1. So what are we seeing? We're seeing a trend right now where you're seeing more listings coming on the market, probably taking a little bit longer to sell, 33 days opposed to 29 days. Now, these are very small changes that we're seeing right now. So let's have a look at this. This is, if we look here, July 2021, this is the last 12 months, right through to June of 2022. So you can see, we're sitting here at 2,200 sales, and it sort of stays around. That goes down a little bit right here, 1,800. Then December, slow month, 1,300. January, 1,300. Then look what happened. Market takes off right here. Now, you got to remember, there was interest rate increasing happening last year, and your market took off, went to 2,200, 3,200, 2,900, and then it starts to tail off. But here's the important message for you, for buyers, for sellers. If we compare this to last year, let's say I take where we are at 2,600 sales, and we go right across here, it's still better than any month that happened, you can see, okay, in the last 6 months of last year. This is really interesting right here. Let's look at the number of sales that took place in the last 5 years. And we put this into a line graph, which makes it visually appealing to understand what's going on. So you look at this. Here we got right here 2022, okay? Then we go back here and we have 2021. And then we've got 18, 19, and 20 sitting in here. So if we look at last year, look at your market last year opposed to these years right here. It was a crazy good market, I think you would all agree. And then all of a sudden, it's better at the beginning of this year and stayed better until the very last month that we can report on, which is June. Now, the reason I show you this, can you imagine sitting with a buyer and a seller and showing them, even though sales are going down, because that's what everybody's reading right now, headlines in the newspaper, right? Sales down, sales down, sales down. But is anybody talking, yes, they're down, but they're way ahead of what they were, okay, in 18, 19, and 20. Cool slide here. This is January to the end of June, so it's 6 months of sales that took place in the last 5 years. So 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. Sort of speaks for itself, would you all agree? We have a look at this, 2018, roughly 8,800 sales. 2019, 8,500 sales. Pretty close, right? Well, what happened in 2020 when this great virus called COVID hit, right? And all of a sudden, sales dropped off because March, April, and May of 2020, sales were way down and then it started to pick up. So 6,900. Look at the first 6 months of last year, 13,551. And the first 6 months of this year, 15,249. Are you kidding me? More opportunities available this year in the first 6 months than the previous 4 years. This year's price, and this is just another cool graph you might want to use in your presentation, but you can see right here, we started the year at 376. We're sitting at 405 right now. But again, let's just go back and look at the last 5 years. 2018, right here. 2019, right here. 2020, you can see again, we went down. So anyway, it gives you something that you can use to put everything in perspective. Remember, people are reading headlines right now. And the challenge with the headlines they're reading, okay, what bleed reads. All they're talking about is down, down, down. That is what we call information. You got to take that information and you got to create insight. What does it all mean? Because in this market, the consumer is uncertain, and this is your opportunity to educate them as to what's really going on in the marketplace. Now, as we move through the rest of 2022, I'm going to be creating different videos based on what's happening in the market. I'm going to give you little tidbits on how you can handle this conversation, or maybe what you need to be doing over here, because we're going to see a lot of change over the next 6 to 12 months. So if you're interested in being notified when I create anything, go to richardrobbins.com, and as soon as something comes out, you will get notified right away. And at the end of the day, everybody, remember this. It's a beautiful life. Make it count.